What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that bell so you get notification every time I go live and every time I post a video. If you've been here before and you know I'm about to put that fire out, go ahead and hit that like button so we get to the algorithm. Let's get into this. So I was watching this clip on the Lapeef Let's Talk show. Go check them out over on the Lapeef Network on Thursdays. And the panel was talking about sex, right? The panel was talking about sex. Now, we're going to watch the clip that I watched. And after we watch this, I'm going to break down my thoughts on sex, how it should go, so on and so forth. And we're going to get into it. Let's go.
It depends on who you with. Depends on who you
and
with.
I didn't say, I said 5 to 7 times a week, which means it could be 3 times one day, 2 times another day, 1 time, 1 quickie, over here. It don't have to be spread across days. I'm not saying 5 to 7 days. I'm saying 5 to 7 times.
Clock in every day.
Clock in? See, that's the whole thing. They see it as a job. That means you with the wrong one. If you feel like it's work, you with the wrong one. That's crazy.
Man,
I don't feel like it's work.
It's not work, but it's not work, but it's work. Like, I mean, I don't know.
You don't just lay there. What are you talking about? We the ones doing
Wait. Where the pillow princess
let go.
at?
Let go. If they lay there,
lay there.
No, that's work.
let go. If they lay down, let go. You with the wrong one.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm just saying, like, why is it a chore?
Because it's a workout. The body's going to be tired. You gonna wear it out. It ain't gonna be no good. After about 4 days.
It's definitely a workout. On the leg, on the
Hey, I like working out.
Thank you, Erica. So y'all don't enjoy working out. I work out every day.
Me too.
I don't want to work out.
Me too.
What are y'all talking about?
Unless
I work out.
No, you said all she gotta do is lay down. What kind of job is that? I'm like, well, what kind of sex is that? Because that ain't fun.
What if you're dealing
You're
with
supposed
somebody
to be throwing that thing in a circle, then back up and around town and back down again.
Don't let them get the capping on here. Most on pillow princesses.
Hold on, Jasmine. What you say though? You about to say something?
I said, now what? The only way it's not gonna be work is if he's like this big and it ain't much to work with.
Right.
You didn't even know what was going on anyway.
Right.
You're working with somebody that's a man. He got some stuff going on. That's work. That's tiring. You gotta put the hard hat on. Like, hey, I gotta go in today. Make sure I'm getting stretches in. Like, you gotta be ready. Especially you gotta give head.
Hey, Mr. Lego, don't let them get the line to you, man. Most on pillow princesses.
You ain't never lost feeling with jaws. Like,
Hey, none of them got mega knees.
That means they don't enjoy giving head. Man, let me be quiet. That's sad. Women who don't enjoy sex.
I'm a lady.
You said what? Work.
Women who just don't enjoy sex, I could not deal with that woman. That's crazy.
Who said that?
I don't think you said that.
You literally said time to put on the hard hat because it's time to go to work. Like that don't sound like enjoyment to me.
No, you do enjoy. You want.
That sound like cosplay.
Every single time, you don't want to be like, hey, you just killed this the other day. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be up to par today. Like, cause it's done. We buried it yesterday. Like, so.
Nah, lubrication will fix all of that. Yeah, you shouldn't break anything.
If she needs to be, listen, if she needs to be lubricated.
I'm treating this like a murder case. Some questions just don't have answers.
Tramp, that means she ain't feeling. Okay.
Well, I didn't say that she has to use KY or nothing like that. I just said lubrication. It should be natural if you're hydrated and you're dieting well.
Some lip gloss on it, like Rihanna said. Any of that, it's not right. Okay?
Ladies, y'all need to drink some more water because y'all don't hydrate. Hydrate yourself, ladies.
All right, guys. You saw that, you heard that. There was more, but I'm not going to make you watch that whole thing. I can break down what I need to break down from what I've already heard from the clip, right? All right, cool. Let's get into this, right? So they're talking about sex, right? They start off talking about how many times a week. Now, that's going to depend on both individuals, right? And at the beginning of a relationship, a marriage, whatever the case may be, both people should come together and talk about the amount of times a week that sex would be expected, right? Some may say 3, some may say 5, some may say 7, right? That's going to vary between the two individuals. But they need to come to an agreement in the sense of what's expected and if it's realistic, right? If there's a big gap between what's expected, this can be very problematic in a relationship or in a marriage. If one person's saying twice a week, the other person's saying 7 days a week or 7 times a week, that can be very problematic. So that's going to be between the individuals. There is no clear-cut answer for this, but that is going to be between the individuals. Work schedules may have something to do with it. Lifestyle may have something to do with it. And each person's body, that's going to be the major factor. Each person's body is going to have a lot to do with that, right? As far as like the duration, how long it should last, that's also going to be between the two individuals, right? Some people may, hey, 10 minutes is good. Some people may be more along the 45 minutes, right? 50 minutes. Let's get it in. Let's go crazy. Let's do all the positions. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do vaginal penetration versus let's do oral. All of that's going to vary between the two individuals, right? Now, in many cases, a lot of women are not climaxing, right, during sex. A lot of women are not climaxing during sex, right? But that some of that is based on skill level of, say, the male, or it could be where the woman is mentally. Sometimes her state of mind could affect whether she's climaxing or not, depending on what she's thinking about, how she feels about this guy, so on and so forth. Maybe he's got to do all the right things leading up. Maybe the foreplay has to be on point. All these factors play into a woman climaxing. And some women, it don't matter. None of that don't matter. She's gonna climax regardless. If it feels good, she's gonna climax, right? So there are many, 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 many different variations of that. Another thing, I heard the girl say, man, it's like a job. I gotta go in, put my hard hat on, It's a workout, right? So if you're quote unquote doing it right, I agree. It is like a workout. It is a workout. You know what I mean? So I don't get offended if a woman says a workout. Putting on a hard hat, it's a job, it's a chore. At first, right, I didn't like whenever a female would say that. Not necessarily to me, but in general, right? She says a chore, it's a job. I can see that being problematic. But at the same time, when a man needs that satisfaction, in most cases, he don't care what she think it is, as long as she do it and she do it right. I'm gonna say it again. In most cases, he don't care what she think it is, as long as she do it and she do it right. Now, when you take things to a certain level, some guys don't want to hear that. He wants you to enjoy it just as much as he does, right? He wants you to enjoy it just as much as he does, which is reasonable. I think you should. In most cases, if you're with the quote unquote right person, both of you all will enjoy it, right? Both of you all should enjoy it. Now, as far as that goes, you got to tap into like initiation, right? So I think both people should be initiating it, right? Sometimes it should be the male, sometimes it should be the female, right? In a lot of relationships and marriages, you have one person initiating everything, right? And that could be very problematic, right? That makes the other person feel unwanted to a degree, right? You have to have both people initiating it, right? Can't just be one person all the time, right? That's going to be a problem. Take turns initiating, and I'm not saying this turn. I'm not saying it's got to go back and forth, but within a relationship or a marriage, there should be times where both people can look back and say, okay, you have initiated. Okay, you have initiated, right? You should have both people doing that. Now, in regards to sex, some people are more active than others during the active sex, right? I know there are some women out there who enjoy being on top, taking control, doing their thing. They want to be in control of that thing. Boom. But in most cases, it's the man who's going to take control, do his thing, and then the woman, she may be somewhat active in certain ways, you know what I'm saying? And when you have a good situation, it's almost like a 50-50 split, right? You guys are taking turns doing your thing. But if you want that woman to, let's see, really feel it, really feel you as a man, right? A lot of times women like to be dominated, right? As the man, you should take the lead and be the dominant one in the bedroom, right? You should be the dominant one in the bedroom. You're going to have some women who are going to say they don't like that. You know, they don't want you to be this way. They don't want you to be that way. Now, when I say dominant, I don't mean you thrashing them. I don't mean you killing them. I don't mean it in that sense. I just mean you leading the charge. All right, we about to, okay, move this way. All right, come on, get in this position. All right, get in that position. All right, come on. All right, you know, you leading the charge. You letting it be known what's going to happen next. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say the dominant one. You letting it be known what's going to happen next, right? And you're doing your thing and you know what you're doing. You know, you're doing your thing and you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So when you put that all together, right, you can create a healthy sex life. You can create a healthy sex life. Now, as far as for those of you who can't last long, or you don't know what it is, or this ain't all that, right? You got to make sure you're taking care of your body, right? Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're eating right. Stop eating all these junk foods. Make sure you're eating right. Make sure you're exercising regularly, right? Make sure you're exercising really, regularly. Keep your stamina up. You're doing all these things to make sure that you can perform well in the bedroom, right? And if you just have no clue as to what you're doing at all, from time to time, you may have to watch the pros, right? Right. You might have to watch a video, watch the pros do it. Now, I'm not saying in access, right? Don't do it all the time. Don't watch them. Don't watch it. It'll mess your head up, because just don't do it. It'll mess your head up watching too much of that. But that's if you have no clue as to what you're doing. Watch the pros. You know what I'm saying? Maybe take some notes in your head, and you'll be able to do that with no problem. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to do that with no problem. And also, here's the most important thing. The most important thing is this. Figure out what your partner, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever you want to call it. Figure out what they're into, how they like it, how they don't like it. Learn their body. That's the number one thing. There are people that say that no one is necessarily great at sex. It's all about learning that other person's body. It's all about learning the other person's body. So whenever you into that, you guys are getting into that, learn that other person's bodies, have conversations, ask questions, right? Be willing to fulfill each other, right? There's nothing worse than having a partner who is lazy when it comes to sexual activity, right? That can kill the mood. Don't be lazy, men or women. Don't be lazy, right? Put in that effort if you want to have a good, healthy sex life. Do not be lazy. You see what I'm saying? If you're with someone who's lazy, you're probably with the wrong person, right? Or it might not necessarily be the wrong person, but when it comes to sex, it's going to get a low grade. When it comes to sex, it's going to get a low grade if you're with someone who is lazy. If you're with someone who is lazy. Ladies, spice it up. Be willing to do more. Open up a little bit. I know a lot of ladies, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Ladies, you got to open up a little bit more. These guys, they looking everywhere else, right? And vice versa. And not that's going to okay it. But ladies, you got to open up. You got to be more willing to do these things if you're going to partner. And I'm talking about for the long haul. I'm talking about marriage, obviously. Right? And I'm not necessarily talking about legal marriage. It could be spiritual marriage, right? I mean, you bonding with that person. You plan to spend the rest of your life with that person, and you don't want to be with nobody else, right? Spiritual marriage, right? It's in your heart. It's in your spirit. You locked in. Might not be on paper, but you locked in. You know what I'm saying? All of this whole conversation, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Someone you locked in with. Not just people you out here bouncing around. I'm not talking about that. I'm a man of God. I ain't pushing that. I'm talking about you bonding with someone and you plan to be with them for the rest of your life. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But that's all I got for you guys. Like this video. Share this video. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I missed something. I could be off. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel. And remember, ladies and gents, keep God first. Keep God first. I love you all. Be blessed.